I am so glad that you are here today. Let's begin our compassionate body, low back stability, and emotional safety yoga class by finding our way down on our mats. So, however that feels best for your body today, there's no rush. Take your time. Once you're lying on your back, let your legs extend long or keep your knees bent, whichever allows your low back to feel more supported right now. Your body knows what it needs. Bring your arms into a goalpost position, elbows bent at about 90 degrees, palms facing up. This shape opens the chest gently. Take a full breath in and let go. Start to release your neck by letting your chin roll shoulder to shoulder. And then grab your block. So we will be using a block today. However, if you don't have one, sometimes I use a book or I use pillows or I roll up a blanket, but just something to support your sacrum. And with the knees bent and the arms at the sides of your body with the palms down, inhale, press up into bridge, and exhale, place the prop or block, whatever you have underneath your sacrum. That's the triangular bone above your tailbone. Okay, so it's very important. It's not your spine and it's not your tailbone. And you'll know it'll feel like there's some ease. You'll be able to relax. If you feel like a cringe or like a tinge, something that doesn't feel very great, keep adjusting your prop. And then once you're here, notice the connection of your low back and your low belly. So typically we need a bit more engagement in the core to help support the low back as well. So you could place your hands at your hip points and think about breathing in the space between the hands, getting into the pelvic floor. Notice the weight of your body against your block or prop and the ground holding you. And then what we'll move into is something I call marches. Inhale or exhale, lift your left knee. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift your right knee. Inhale, lower. And you'll just continue to switch between lifting the left foot and then the right foot. Or if you want, I think about the knees, but this technically is marches, right? We have to lift the feet. Move slow here and just allow yourself to find a rhythm. And it doesn't have to be a very big movement either, that you could do small marches, but just getting into a steady beat. And then inhale, reach your arms up, and exhale. Let's come into a wrist stretch. So both feet are back down. You're done with your marches. Reach the arms up and grab the right hand with the left and flip the palm or flip the fingers towards you. The option to reach your arms overhead and reach them overhead, and then inhale, come back to center and switch. So now grab the left fingertips with the right hand and draw the fingertips towards you as you find a stretch here. And then option to reach the fingertips overhead, breathing into more space here. The wrists carry so much tension from typing, holding, or gripping. So this is just a nice extension of releasing in the body. See if you can soften your jaw while you stretch. Then inhale, bring the arms back to center, and exhale, you can bring it back down. I like to go into a goal post, so arms can be at goal post or at the sides of your body. Inhale, lift the knees or lift your feet off the mat, bend your knees, and exhale, pelvic rocks side to side. So start to lower the knees to the right, and then over to center, and then to the left, and then just finding your rhythm between left and right. This movement is to be soothing for your nervous system, so it's predictable, it's safe, it's small. There's no goal here except maybe just finding a little bit more release in the lower back. All right, once you are done, you can bring your feet back down and your arms at the sides of your body with the palms facing down. Keep the knees bent, the feet are hip width apart. Inhale, begin to just find some little bridge lifts. So lift your hips off of your block or your prop just an inch or two, and then exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, Exhale, lower. Try to feel that spot that you were breathing into before in the lower belly and the pelvic floor. And think about drawing the space of the belly towards the ribs, the lower belly towards the ribs. Now walk your feet out further and come onto the heels and find hamstring engagement here. So it could be a little bit intense as you feel a bit more burning or maybe shaking in the back of the body. Keep lifting and lowering the hips to take some of that intensity out of this exercise. And just see the difference between how when you're just working the glutes and then you add in the hamstring by walking the feet out. Then inhale, if you've lowered your hips, keep them lifted and place your block to the side, and exhale, slowly roll back onto your spine. Hug your knees in and rock side to side. Now let's let that go a little bit and come into a rest. So Shavasana, corpse pose. Legs are long, arms at the side of your body, palms up, heels in, toes out. And you can place a block over your belly. And this allows a nice tactile cue of just feeling how when you breathe in, the block rises, and how you breathe out, the block lowers. And it's a way to just kind of settle here, be with yourself. After we were just working through the back line of the body like that and opening through the front. When you're ready to move on, you can place the block to the side. Inhale, bend your knees. Have the feet hip width apart. Exhale, interlace your fingertips behind your head. Let your elbows go wide. Again, release your neck and nod your head yeah or no. So going side to side, shoulder to shoulder. And then inhale, point your elbows up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift your shoulder blades off of your mat just a couple inches. Hold here for as long as your breath will allow, so you're still breathing. Inhale and exhale. When it's time to release, take another breath in to prepare, and exhale, slowly roll down onto your spine, lowering your head and then your elbows. Inhale, let's do this again. So bringing the elbows back up to the ceiling. Exhale, lift the shoulder blades. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift. So now we're just going to move in and out of some shoulder raises off of the ground. So, or I should say, maybe this is a curl up. I know this has different names, and so I just know this as a curl up, or you're just lifting your shoulders up. Inhale, come to center. Exhale, release the elbows out to the side. And then inhale when you're ready to, we'll do a little more core. So elbows back up to the ceiling. Exhale, draw the right elbow towards the left knee. As you can see, they won't touch. There'll be a gap, and that's okay. We're just going again for a couple inches or a few inches off of your shoulder blades. Getting into the side body core now. Inhale, center. Exhale, switch. Left elbow to right knee. And this first part, we're just holding here. We're finding the strength. Core strength isn't about a flat stomach, it's about having a strong foundation so you can move through the world without everything feeling fragile. Inhale, come back to center and lay down for a second. Take a breath in, inhale, point the elbows up. Exhale, find your twist. So you'll go right elbow to left knee, then left elbow to right knee, and twist. Right, left, right, left. And finding your rhythm here. These are your obliques, the muscles that you rotate, that let you turn to face what's in front of you without losing your ground. Once you're ready to return to center and find stillness, lower down onto your back. Inhale, prepare for supine twist. Hug your knees in towards your chest, and exhale, supine twist. Let the knees lower to the right side, your chin to the left. Arms can be goalpost position or out to a T, whatever you find most comfortable. And then inhale, bring your knees to center, and exhale, supine twist with the knees going to the left and the chin to the right shoulder. Finding a moment of ease here. Twists help us release and wring out tension. They give us our spine permission to spiral and soften. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale. Let's do a figure 4 twist. So let your arms go to the side of your body. They're the sides of your body. You have two sides. Or interlace your hands behind your head. Cross your left ankle over your right thigh. Keep your left foot flexed to protect your knee. And then lower the legs to the right, and then lower the legs to the left. And you can just move between right and left, allowing your chin to go in the opposite direction. So if your legs lower to the left, your chin goes to the right. If your legs lower to the right, your chin goes to the left. And you're just moving in and out of this twist. Inhale, center, and then exhale, switch. So now the right ankle is over the left thigh. And exhale, slowly lower to the left, chin to the right, and then lower your legs to the right, chin to the left. And again, finding your movement here as you slowly just move from right and left. You might not go very far, and that's okay. Depth isn't the goal, sensation and safety are. So moving at a pace that feels safe for you. And then inhale, come back to center, uncross your legs, and let's release. So inhale, option 2, rock and roll up to a seat as you feel also a little massage here for your spine. You go slow first and then you can come all the way up. However, you could also roll onto your side and come up to a seat if that feels best. Then inhale, find your way to tabletop and then find a cow position. So dropping the belly towards the ground, tailbone points up, squeeze the shoulder blades down the back, and then exhale, find a cat position, rounding the upper back, puffing up the spot between the shoulder blades. Inhale, cow, finding extension of your spine, and exhale, cat, finding flexion, drawing the tailbone down. Inhale, you open up, lengthen through the front, and exhale, you open up and lengthen through the back. So moving in and out between the two to open up through the spine, finding your steady pace, and then inhale, find a neutral tabletop. Exhale, bird dog, tuck your right toes, lift your right knee, come on to the left fingertips, lift the left palm. Inhale, lift the left hand and right heel off the ground. Find one nice line of energy from the fingertips to the back of the heel. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Choose whatever breath works for you. So if the exhale is better, you could do that too. Then inhale, bring the left palm to left thigh. Lower the right knee to right elbow, and then exhale, use your glute to lift the right heel up to the sky. Find some little pulses at the end if you'd like, and then inhale, come to center, and exhale, fire hydrants, reaching the right knee out to the right side. So inhale, center, exhale, lift, inhale, center, exhale, lift. Do all this while keeping the pelvis stable and at center. Inhale, come back to center, and exhale, tuck the left toes, lift the left knee, come on to the right fingertips. And then inhale, lift both the right hand and left heel. Find that one nice line of energy throughout. Exhale, option to lower. Inhale, option to lift your arm and leg. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. If you wobble, that's okay. Your nervous system is recalibrating. That's not weakness, that's learning. And then to go into your pulses or your glute kicks, place your right hand to the right thigh, lower the left knee to the left elbow, and then exhale, send the left heel to the sky. Inhale, lower, exhale, lift, inhale, lower, exhale, lift. Option to find those pulses if you'd like, and then inhale, center, and exhale, fire hydrant. Inhale, center, exhale, lifting the left knee out to the left side. So again, keeping the pelvis stable. If you'd like, you could even place a block on top of your sacrum here, and that could also help you see if any movement is happening within the pelvis as well. Inhale, find your tabletop, and then exhale. We'll do some knee lifts. So tucking the toes, lift the knees off the ground just an inch or two. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Exhale, lower, inhale, lift. Or you could switch the breath. I think since the activation is the lift, maybe the exhale would feel better there. Then inhale, come to center and come down. Exhale, dolphin pose. Come onto your forearms, have your forearms parallel to each other, elbows are under the shoulders, palms face down. You can spread your fingertips wide, tuck your toes, lift your knees, lift your hips. And from here, you can lift your heels high and then lower them towards the floor. So lift them and then lower. It's okay if your heels don't touch. This is really just about the reach and lower, like getting that movement and that stretch. And so once you find your rhythm here, as usual in these little movements, you can also nod your head no and yes to release through your neck. That's one of my favorite things to do here. It releases tension and reminds the nervous system that you have choices. You can say yes, you can say no. You're the one that can choose here. Inhale, come to center, and exhale, lower onto your knees and find child's pose. Sink your hips back to your heels, forehead rests down, arms reach forward or rest by your sides. This is a posture of surrender, of safety, of returning to yourself. You can always come back to child's pose anytime, any day. This is your home base. Breathe into your low back, feel it expand, feel it soften. Inhale, come up, and exhale, downward facing dog. Press into or tuck your toes, lift your hips, come into downward facing dog, and pedal out your feet. Bend one knee, then the other. Let your body warm up, let your hamstrings wake up. Now turn your toes to the left side, bend your knees, and then turn your toes to the right side and bend your knees. This is a down dog twist. So feel the stretch throughout the left side body and then throughout the right side body. This is again one of my favorites. I do this all the time, anytime I'm working out. This is a must have. It feels so good in my body. And so when you're ready, inhale, come back to center. You can pedal out your feet again and then just kind of let that go. Inhale from downward facing dog, exhale, lower down into your knee hovers. So shift your weight forward into like a plank, but then bend your knees and hover your knees an inch above the floor. You could hold for a breath and then exhale or inhale, push back into down dog. Exhale, shift forward and hover. Inhale, downward facing dog. Again, choose how you want the breath here. It may actually feel better to exhale in your hover and then inhale down dog, or vice versa if I have whichever opposite way I'm saying. And so inhale, come to center, and then exhale, find a child's pose just to kind of rest after those two workouts. Those were kind of a workout, but it was also a bit of a release at the same time. Notice how much work you've done. Notice you've been supporting yourself this whole time. And then inhale, come into a lunge. So through tabletop, step your left foot forward. Have the left knee over your ankle and then the hips over the right, or your right hip over your right knee. You could tuck the back toes or you can keep it untucked, hands to your hips. Make sure your hips are leveled with each other. So if the left hip is a little bit higher, you're going to draw it down and in line with the right. Inhale, reach your right arm up overhead, and then exhale, find a psoas stretch here by leaning over to the left side. So reaching that right arm up and over as you lean to the left, feeling a right side body stretch. And notice how the bottom doesn't really change too much. It's just the upper part of our bodies that we're moving and releasing a little bit more. Then inhale, come back to your lunge, and exhale, runner's lunge. Straighten your left leg and draw the toes towards your nose. Inhale, come back to your lunge, and then exhale, come into your tabletop. Inhale, step that right foot forward, and exhale, come into a lunge on the other side. So right knee over right ankle, left hip over left knee. Tuck the toes or untuck the toes in the back. Hands to hips. Hips are leveled. If you were to draw a line, they would make a line with each other. Then inhale, reach the left arm overhead, and exhale, side stretch to your right. You're opening the left psoas or hip flexors. Feel the stretch in that hip flexor. This muscle tends to hold tension when we're afraid. So when we're bracing for impact, breathe into it. Tell it it's safe to let go here. Inhale, come to center. And exhale, find your runner's lunge, straightening that right leg, drawing the toes towards your nose as you send the hips back. Inhale, come up, and exhale, come into like a straddle or a wide-legged forward fold. So turn to your side and then begin to bend your knees one and then the other, finding a little bit of a side lunge here. Let yourself hang. So grab opposite elbows, sway side to side, shake your head yes and no again. Interlace your fingertips behind you and let that go towards the ground. Shorten your stance and then inhale, heels and toes out. Exhale, a malasana or a wide hip pose, wide opening hip opener. Now inhale, lower, exhale, come into a downward facing dog. Inhale, three-legged down dog, lift your right leg up, or also one-legged down dog, whichever one you prefer. Exhale, low lunge. Inhale, come up into your lunge with the arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, lift the back knee, and then exhale, bring your right elbow to left knee as you go into a one-legged mountain. Then inhale, bring your left elbow to right knee as you go back into your lunge. And so inhale, you're going to come into a one-legged mountain pose, or you could just stay in your crescent lunge and just twist side to side. And then exhale, you're going to go into your lunge and twist. So it's a little bit of a tricky one. You may have to watch that a couple times. As for time, I kind of went through that pretty fast. And then inhale, exhale, warrior two, bend and straighten the front knee. So you have your left foot parallel to your mat and your right knee bent. And then you can just straighten and lower. And then when you're done, inhale, reverse your warrior or your triangle, reaching their left arm overhead, or excuse me, right arm. And then exhale, lower down onto your belly. Inhale, come into a Sphinx pose by bringing the forearms down and elbows under the shoulders. Squeeze the shoulder blades down the back, untuck the toes, and then exhale, lift back up into your downward facing dog. Let's do that on the other side. Inhale, reach your left leg up. Exhale, low lunge. Step your left foot forward in between the hands. Option to lower the back knee down first. Inhale, high lunge, reaching the arms overhead or keeping them on your hips. Eventually lift that back knee. And then exhale, bring the hands to heart center. Inhale, one-legged mountain pose, balance on the left foot. Bring the left elbow to the right knee, and then exhale, a revolved crescent as you step your right foot back and draw the right elbow to the left knee. Now again, you can stay in your lunge and just kind of twist side to side with the upper body because that is a big balance challenge. I put that in there to challenge you, to let yourself see where you're at today and see if you even want to attempt something like that. And then inhale, open up to your warrior two. Your right foot is parallel to your mat. You're going to bend and straighten your left knee. Shoulders over your hips. You can reach your arms out to the side if you'd like, but no pressure here. And then exhale. Inhale, reverse your warrior, reach the left arm overhead, or excuse me, reverse your triangle. So you can straighten that leg and kind of let the bend go. And then exhale, cartwheel your hands down and come into your tabletop. So lower the knees down and then exhale, lower onto your belly. Inhale, find your Sphinx pose again as you come on to the fingertips or the forearms, or you can come into a cobra pose, keeping the hands where they are and just trying to lift more through the upper back. So as you lift your upper back, inhale, exhale, find a child's pose, and let's kind of settle in here. We just did a lot. That was a lot of bigger movements. It's a little bit more difficult to stay focused and to kind of let everything go here as we're trying to figure out what we're doing in our bodies, right? But then also figuring out how we're feeling and making sure we're in tune with our breath. And so give yourself this moment just to kind of let it all go, let yourself soften, let things release, close your eyes. You've done so much. You've supported yourself, you've listened, you've offered yourself stability and gentleness at the same time. And the low back is a place where we hold fear. or we brace against uncertainty. Today, you gave it extra support. You reminded it that it doesn't have to hold everything alone. Start to deepen your breath. Press yourself up to a comfortable seat. Bring your hands to your heart. Thank you for showing up today, for being gentle with yourself, for practicing both strength and softness. May you carry this feeling with you of being supported throughout your day, and may you remember you don't have to do it all alone. Namaste. Thank you for sharing this practice with me today. If you found this helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and share with someone who might need a little calm today. See you next time.